Hello my loves, welcome back to my art channel. If you're new here, my name is Tamsin and I'm the artist behind aianaiyaillustration Illustrations, and here is some of my artwork. Today we are going to be looking at thank you cards, more specifically how to design your own thank you cards and the different ways that you can end up making your thank you cards for your business. I think that thank you cards are a super integral part of your business. They make your customer feel valued. They are really beautiful and collectible, and they can really bring together your packaged product. So this card is the one that I have currently in my shop, and this I made using Vistaprint and Procreate on my iPad Pro 12.9-inch tablet. So for this thank you card, this is what it looks like in my Procreate app, and I've used an A4 sized canvas. To get this kind of like smoky effect that you see here, I used one, I think it's called Nebula, one of the brushes on here. Yes, I used Nebula and in a purple shade, and then I just brought down the opacity a little bit. So for this section of the video where I'm going to show you how to design your thank you card, we're going to be using this art piece of mine. I want to basically show you that you can use your drawing in lots of different ways to make a thank you card. You don't have to just use it as it is. You can do lots of different things. So for this one, for instance, so we can't really use it as it is like that because the butterflies are cut off because I used a square canvas size. So if we just bring it there, if I was going to center her, she would be roughly there, but because her hair is a bit further out on this side, the centering of her entirety would be more like there, I guess. And you know, you can just have like an art piece like this as the front of your thank you card. I like to have it actually say thank you on the front, and that's just because I don't want them to be confused that I don't want the customer to not realize that it's a thank you card and almost miss me thanking them, and they just sort of think that they've got like a free print or something. Struggled with this a little bit because I also really do want to do it so that it doesn't have a thank you on the front so that they can use it as a free extra print, but I feel like it might not get noticed if I did it that way. So for this piece, I might do something like that. Let's just choose one, but I want to show you that you can use different kind of like compositions of your artwork. It doesn't have to be how it was that you originally drew it. So you could have it like this. And in this instance, you could probably write like thank you over here. I think that would look really nice. For my current one, obviously I've just done an opaque rectangle and colored that in, and then just regular text at the bottom to say thank you. For this kind of artwork, obviously it's a zodiac style artwork, so this is Taurus. So for me personally, if I was going to be using this for my shop, then I would take out the Taurus symbol, and the only reason for that is because I feel like it's only really appealing to one kind of market. But if we put like say a moon there or something, I feel like we're appealing to all of our customers with this drawing then. But another thing you could do is, for instance, if it was me and I wanted to use one of my zodiac pieces for my thank you card, I would use my Leo zodiac drawing just because I feel like it's a reflection of me. And that's a really nice thing to do as well, is to have your thank you cards be a reflection of yourself. Maybe it's a piece of artwork that you did that was of yourself, a self-portrait, because it just kind of like ties back to you as well and helps your customer as well to remember you and how you make them feel. Okay, so this is what we're going to go with. We are going to keep this white kind of color because I always prefer to have like white text. I'm not sure if that's just me, but you can of course have dark text. It's absolutely your preference, but just for me personally, I would choose white text. And then kind of I just like make it work. I feel like that's really nice on its own. But another thing that we can do that will kind of like make it look a little bit more professional in my opinion, and also make it stand out a little bit, is if we do the similar thing that I did on my current thank you card, where I added the opaque rectangle in the background. You will obviously be a lot neater than I am. I'm just doing this for illustrative purposes. But that would essentially be the front of your thank you card. I feel like we could maybe go a little bit further and we can add like other details in the background here, because I feel like we've got this space here that's not filled in and might be a little bit distracting. I don't know. So I would really like to add something like this. Just something to kind of like break up the background a little bit. I'm not sure about that part though. Maybe something like this. Or you could go for something more airbrushed. Just like some ideas to bring it together for you. You can also add in little sparkles if you wish. Anything to kind of finish up the thank you card. And if you also think it's too much at any point, just take it out and try it again. Okay, now if we were to do the back now, what I would do is I would pick the same kind of color or one of the colors from the front and fill in the entirety of the canvas. Basically just got my writing and a space for my customer's name and some handles for my social medias where they can find me if they are on any of those platforms. Personally, I like to include little things on the background as well, little drawings. So I'm probably going to go with something like this, and then I will move these butterflies around a bit. And then we can have a kind of like what we did in the front. You don't have to do this. I'm only doing this because it kind of fits in with the light background and needing to see the font. So here I will add a line. You can do it a little bit more professionally than this, but this is basically what I do. And then, you know what, that line's probably actually going to not be white. We're going to have some white writing. So here we might say, thank you so much. And then we're going to write out their name underneath. So I'm just going to center this. We'll move the butterfly afterwards. And then you can go on to say a bunch of other things. You can change the font so it's a little bit more readable. I'm just going to pick something random, but you probably would want to pick something that looked appealing together. Like, so you can use two fonts. Just kind of like make sure that they work together. I like to use a cursive style font, and then I also like to use a more plain kind of font. Or in this instance, I've used a little bit of a fancier font and then a more plain font. And this is just basically where you show them how much you appreciate them. Then you can put your links or your handles or whatever at the bottom here. In this instance, what I'd probably like to do is get some of the logos and then write your handle underneath the logo. So something kind of like, if I was to show you, something like, and then you'd have like that underneath. It's not perfect, obviously. You want to more get the logo from Google and then import that into here. You can also change up the colors and stuff. That's what I tend to do with some of mine. Okay, and then this instance, I would probably like the butterflies to go over some of the font, be like pretty close to the fonts. So something like that. You can obviously change it. This is not perfect, but it gives you an idea of what it is that you can include on the back of your thank you card. You can also add in something that refers back to a website if you have a website and you're using, say, Etsy or some other kind of like store platform on your thank you card, because then you can get your traffic going to your website as well. Play around with it and see what works for you. What I would suggest is really just trying to put your voice through in what you write, put yourself across in how you design it and things, like make it very you, so it's more personal and you can connect with your customers on a higher level. Once you've finished your design for your thank you card, you can then go over to Vistaprint. I like to get my thank you cards made up with the postcards option, but you can choose out of their other options if you'd like to. You don't have to copy the same thing that I do. You can go through and select what kinds of finishes you want for the card, and then once you've done that, you can upload your own design to the front and the back and then have it made up for you. Vistaprint tend to do some sales every now and again, which I like to look out for, which bring down the price significantly. Adding on a back can increase the cost of your thank you cards as well. Thank you so much for watching, my loves. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!